Okay, we're here. We are live. Welcome everybody to the big show here on TWB Traveling with Bruce. It's Bruce here from Palm Desert, California, where it is quite reasonable weather-wise. It's good to have you here. Welcome to the show. It's Monday, December the 19th. Thank you all for joining in with us today. It's great to have you. Let me prove to you how reasonable the weather is. It is 57 degrees right now in Palm Desert. It's dark out. The sun has already sunk. We did hit 66 today. And let me just show off what's going to happen here tomorrow. 68, Wednesday, 73, Thursday, 72, Friday, 75, Saturday, 80, Sunday, 80, Monday, 79, Tuesday. Sun. Nice. Those of you who are wondering, why would you guys leave Calgary in December to go to Palm Desert? Well, maybe because it's 18 below Fahrenheit in Calgary right now. Hello. Extreme cold warning. They're telling Canadians there's an extreme cold warning. I mean, really? That's not good. Tonight's low 22, tomorrow's low minus 26, minus 22, the high Tuesday minus 15, minus 13. Mind you, though, look on Saturday, the weekend, it's going to be 28 Fahrenheit for the high Saturday, Sunday 39, Monday 44, Tuesday 40. So into the warmer side of at least on the non-freezing side of the scale. But oh my gosh, from minus 15 to plus 44 in 5 days in Calgary. I don't miss this at all. I don't miss that weather. It's headache-inducing weather because of the change of atmosphere and stuff. I don't want any part of it. I think I'll stay down here. I think the 70s and 80 degree temperatures are the kind of temperatures that can agree with a guy like me. I really think I'm suited for that kind of lifestyle weather. I'm good with that. Plus, the spas and pools are open outside here. There are no outdoor pools running in Calgary right now. The only outdoor pool you can go to right now anywhere near Calgary is Banff, Alberta, to the Sulphur Hot Springs Bath. And half of it, the facility is indoor, the other half is outside. And I tell you, after you've done it once, you kind of go, well, it's kind of nice, but I've had enough. I think I'll do it here. This is far more enjoyable. And so all is well. Welcome all of you to the TWB channel, Traveling with Bruce. Try to give you some cruise news today, what's going on out there. I hope you all are getting ready for a great holiday season coming up. You have relatives that you like coming to see you, the relatives you like that you're going to go and see. Hopefully that's all going to work out. Hopefully some of you will have pleasant surprises with new relatives you are now going to know on a more often basis. I have no idea what's happening out there. Christmas is a funny kind of year. Sometimes you meet people for the first time that are introduced to the family. This is my new so-and-so. This is my new such and such. And well, how are you? Good luck to everybody and those who are doing the introducing, those who are being introduced to everybody, and those who are receiving the introductions. Hope it all works out for everybody. Hope you eat too much of the good stuff, and just have lots of fun and stories and yucks and some good quality time with family. That's what it's all about. Welcome one and all to the show. Janice is here. Janice Gregory, Bruce, I am number 5 on your thumbs up meter. I was here nice and early. Ken is here. Ken Koreka. Hi, Bruce and all from balmy Saginaw, Michigan. The temperature 24 degrees with a snowy storm coming through Thursday, Friday. Gas is $3 a gallon up here. Merry Christmas from Janet and Ken, and we are thumbs up number 6. Let me know what thumbs ups you are, everybody. We're trying to get as many thumbs together as we could possibly get together. We'd like to hit 100 thumbs ups on every one of our live shows. Hopefully tonight, between you guys who are here live and those of you watching right here on the rerun, if you're watching me right now on the rerun, you hit that thumbs up button immediately. Don't forget, do it now. and help us get to 100 thumbs ups overall. Thank you all. Sharon, hi, Bruce and TB family. Happy holidays and long time no see. Nathan is here in the house, the FedEx driver, the hardworking man. Number 7. Thank you, pal. Sharon is saying, since I'm here early tonight, I'm going to suggest a topic. What was your worst Christmas travel experience? What was the worst one? For us, it was the Poconos with our 3 kids in 1999. Our worst ever. Our 3-year-old who never got ear infections got a horrible ear infection one Christmas morning. We're in rural Pennsylvania, and no local doctor's offices were open. Kevin had to drive 45 minutes to get to a hospital to get the kid on amoxicillin. Once they were back, I stayed in the hotel room with the little one while Kevin took the 2 older children for some winter fun. Oh man, it was early internet times and our connection was terrible. Plus, we had very few TV stations. It was the only time I ever got sick of A Christmas Story after about the 3rd consecutive viewing. Oh, I can imagine. Just insane. Nathan, gas was $2.78 a gallon where I am when I filled up today at Walmart. Mid-40s today with overcast skies. Going to get colder this week. Highs in the 20s and lows in the single digits. Not what we like in North Carolina at all. I can imagine. Not fun. And the possibility of snow, too. Up to 1 inch is possible. And we roll up the sidewalks at the first sight of a snowflake. We roll it up. Sharon, does anyone else have Christmas horror stories they want to share? And I just clicked the like button. Number 10. Thank you so much, Sharon. Nathan, under 16 days until I am going on the Norwegian Joy. 12 days Southern Caribbean. Right on, pal. Enjoy that. Send that warmer weather here for me, Bruce. I'm cold. Lee Shear, number 20. And the man is in the house. Thank you, my friend. I think Boca Raton or Miami. Where are you from? Lee, Miami. 78 degrees, $2.99 a gallon, going down to 57 for Christmas. Yikes. Stephen, Celebrity Cruises has their Wonderverse through their Metaverse platform, where one can do a journey, a virtual cruise on their first virtual cruise ship, Celebrity Beyond. That's kind of neat sounding, isn't it? Steve Bartley, Greeley, Colorado here. Gas, $2.36 a gallon. That is getting cheap, $2.36. Temperature Thursday, minus 11 Fahrenheit. Just back from Caribbean, 9-night Norwegian Sky cruise. Facial recognition used getting on and off the ship. Yeah, I had Jen and I, when we came down to the States from Canada, we had to clear, we can clear U.S. Customs in Calgary. We go through you go to the departure gate for the airline. Then you check your bags with those guys, and then you get your boarding passes. You then go through security. You go through all that, and then you come through into the U.S. Customs area, Homeland Security in Calgary. And you're in line and you get called up, and there's like 8 or 9 agents, and you go through and talk to them, hand them your passport. They take a photo. They take a photo of you. Now they have a photo that matches the passport, and you're good to go. And you're in the USA now. Once you pass those guys, you're in the airport, international area. You're in America now. However, if you go to the Burger King stand or the Tim Hortons for a coffee, it's Canadian funds. You're spending Canadian money there. It's still just Canadian money, but you are technically in America, because when you get on the plane and the plane takes off and it lands here in Palm Desert, you just get off the plane like you're a domestic traveler. There's no paperwork inspected, nothing. You're in America now. So that was handy. It's always been handy for us Canadian. Jeff Gunter, lucky number 13, Bruce, on the thumbs up meter. Steve Bartley, I am number 14. Thank you guys for hitting these thumbs up buttons for us. Let us know, what's the price of gas where you are? What kind of temperature are you guys dealing with right now? And have you had any ugly Christmas stories for travel? Adam, hey, Bruce, just got back home yesterday on an 8-day Southern Caribbean on Horizon. It was fun. In the Havana area was excellent. So you had a really good time, and you were in the Havana area of the ship and you liked it. Very good. Thumbs up number 14. Thank you, everybody. Pete Hoskins. Hi, Bruce. Hello, cruisers. Our last full day on the Majestic Princess today. It has been a wonderful cruise. Fiji and the islands, all good and great swimming. Our friends, 8 friends, have also had a great time. The crew have, crew have been wonderful. Really glad we've gone back to cruising. Back in Sydney tomorrow with my gluten-free menu. Has been looked after perfectly. Princess have done a wonderful job. 10 out of 10. Cheers. Peter, thank you, sir, for that fantastic review. I love hearing these. Good or bad, let us know. Jeannie, hello again, Bruce. Happy holidays to Bruce and Jen and all TWBers out there. Bill and Jeannie are here for the big show from East Tennessee, and it's cool over there. I hear 34 degrees tonight. Yikes. Adam S. 56 in sunny San Diego, California. You gotta love that. Kevin Chapman, the author himself, is in the house. Greetings from Central New Jersey. Happy, merry, getting colder, but still no snow this winter. Thumbs up, number 23. Man, it's all must have been all around you. It's incredible. Tim Bowman, greeting TWB family, number 19 here tonight for that thumbs up meter of yours. It's 32 Fahrenheit. It's trying to snow here in Seattle. It's projected to get down to 15 Fahrenheit on Thursday, which is cold for Seattle. We've had no bad Christmas travel stories, says Tim Bowman, but we had a memorable one in the early 2000s when we got to celebrate 2 days of Christmas. The first was Tasmania, and then again in Seattle on arrival. Larry Blake, number 24, thumbs up, another bad trip on the getaway. We didn't leave New York until 9:30 at night. Oh my God. Tim, gas here is a wide range of $4.29 to $4.99 a gallon in the Seattle region. Kirk Brunson is in the house, number 11 up for you, Bruce. Thank you, my friend. Welcome. Kimberly is here, number 29. Woohoo! Thank you for these thumbs ups, everybody. Sharon, whenever I hear the big show, I think about Ed Sullivan, the really big shoe, the really big shoe. Sharon, 30 thumbs up, 70 to go, Bruce. You are moving up that ladder quickly. Yolanda Jackson, good evening to everyone. Thank you for joining us, Yolanda, and everybody. Please say hi. Tell us, where are you watching us from? What's your temperature today? Is it winter where you are? What's your gas price? Is it finally coming down for you guys? I know it's been a rough year for gas prices, but they seem to be dropping. Glad to hear that. It's great to have you here. Any of you guys going on a cruise? Are you on a cruise? Let us know. Kimberly, 29 degrees and snow is falling in the Seattle area. Feels like the temperature of 24. Yikes, gas just don't look anymore. I need it no matter what. There you go. I'm driving a Tesla right now. And I can tell you, looking at this fancy dancy little thing, I got to tell you, I have an app with the car on it. Right now, I have the car plugged in the garage, just in a 110 outlet, just a regular outlet. And right now, the car is got 216 miles on the right now, and it's going to take 12 hours and 20 minutes to charge the car up all the way to top end. Because it's not charged, it's not plugging into a supercharger. It's not a supercharger. It's just plugging into the wall. It's not even a 240 volt outlet like a washer dryer. It doesn't need it. Of course, for what I do, the driving that I do, I hadn't had it plugged in for a couple of days. So usually it takes 3 to 4 hours a night to recharge it all the way up, because I usually leave it at 250 miles and it goes up to the 285, 90 miles limit. So right now at 216 miles, it's bringing in about 5 miles an hour in range right now. That's how much range is being added to the battery as I'm speaking to you. It's now 5:14 East my time here in Palm Desert, California. I won't be in the car until at least tomorrow. Probably not until about 2 in the afternoon, noon tomorrow. So I won't be in the car for 12 plus 19 hours. So she'll be charged up by the time I get in it. So this works just fine. It's quite amazing how this works. I can lock and unlock the car I can regulate the temperature inside the car. I can turn on and turn off the all the features of the car. The temperature inside the car right now is 72 degrees. So that's what it's doing right now. I've just turned off the interior of the car's temperature controls, and I've turned off the feature of defrosting the car, and the steering wheel heater is off, the seat heaters are off. Everything is fine. So the car is in the garage, safe and sound, and locked up, and it's charging. How about that? Pretty cool bean stuff, isn't it? Amazing. How things have advanced. Thank you, everybody. Let's see here. Yolanda Jackson is saying that I'm in Philadelphia. That's 31 degrees here. Ms. M. Hi, Bruce, from the deep freeze of the Fraser Valley, British Columbia. Gas $1.50 a liter. Yikes. Kimberly McKendog. So 216 miles. But what if you're stuck in traffic? I mean, what about that? Well, it's okay. Dawn, in June 2023, wife and I are going to Iceland on the Norwegian Prima, the new ship. Kimberly, I see a walker in the background. Oh, how is Super Jen doing? Yes, there's a walker back there. That's Jen's brand new walker, not used yet. She's going in for surgery this month. She won't let me tell you when, but it's before the month is out. And she'll likely use that for a few days afterwards, just for stability and so on. Better than using crutches and stuff. We're coming along. We're doing all the testing now, the blood work, all the other stuff being done. It's all being prepped up. So we're getting close. Ms. M sitting in Gotham's downtown Vancouver for social hour. Yummy. Right on. Welcome all of you from Vancouver. We got 48 people here. The thumbs ups keep coming in. I appreciate it. We have 31 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. If you're able to throw a thumbs ups our way, please help us out. Thank you so much. Steven Stair, hi Bruce, 25 degrees here in Michigan, $2.78 a gallon for gas here in Michigan. Thank you, Stephen, for joining. Well, let me give you some news from the cruise business that's come out today. Now, this news that I'm about to give you, some of this news came out just before the weekend, but you may not have heard of it. And then some of this news, I think, came out today. And I find it most interesting. I've written this all down here. So the story goes over at Norwegian Cruise Lines. Norwegian Cruise Lines made an announcement. We think it was Friday late in the day. So it would have been after the stock market closed, before business was done, that they have made announcements to their employees, their shore-based employees. These are the folks in Miami working on, in their corporate offices. 9% of the employees are being let go by Norwegian. They're letting 9% of their workers go. And this looks to me like by the end of the year, they're out of a job. Not good timing, but that's what they're doing. We heard today that, the talk that has been out there is that in the last number of years, Norwegian has lost $4 billion as a company, certainly since 2020, 2021, and now 2022. But what we've also noted, and this is some of the critics out there, is that Frank Del Rio Sr., who's the chairman of the board, the top guy at Norwegian, he's not the owner of the company, by the way. He doesn't own any stock more than, I don't even know if he has up 1% of the company. He's just the hired guy to run it. The board of directors has seen fit to pay this man $129 million in salaries and benefits for the last 5 years. And in 2020, when the company lost a ton of money, he was paid 36.4 million. And in 2021, just last year, he got 22.6 million more. And definitely 2 billion was lost last year, at least 2 billion last year, maybe 2.5 billion lost. Don't know how this guy gets this kind of money, but he does. Now we find out this morning, an announcement was made that his son, Frank Del Rio Jr., has just been made the president of one of the subsidiary companies that Norwegian has called Oceania Cruise Line. This is their luxury cruise line. And Frank Del Rio Jr., 44 years old, is now president of Oceania. So you got dad at the top and the son running one of the subsidiary companies. His pay package is had to be disclosed because the publicly traded company, they have to tell you. He gets $500,000 a year for that job, and he also gets a $1,500 a month car allowance for that gig. $18,000 a year car allowance. So you can imagine, if your payments are like $1,000 a month and $500 a month for the insurance and maintenance, that's a nice car. You can get a 5-year lease with $1,000 payment and probably end up driving about $100,000 car right up front easily. Not bad. Frank Sr., he does also get a very substantial series of perks over and above these salaries. Now, most of these salaries I've quoted for Frank Sr. is stock options. He gets all kinds of stock given to him by the company. But it's been just a terrible 5 years. Here's the sad thing about what's also happening is while 9% of the staff is being let go, these are the hardworking folks that kept kept Norwegian alive the last 5 years, even through this hardship of the COVID. While these folks are being dumped, the company, Norwegian, announced a series of bumps in expenses to passengers. Now, many of you out there, you think about going on a cruise, you think about booking a cruise a year in advance, 2 years in advance, quite a bit ahead of time. What you don't count on is that by the time you get on the ship, there will be additional charges levied on you that you weren't expecting. And what has happened in the last week or two, we've seen a number of increases by a number of cruise lines for gratuity bumps, upwards of 20% now gratuity fees for drinks and other services. Now we're seeing all kinds of other charges for what used to be free, now is no longer free, like having food delivered to your cabin. You have children, you want to bring in chicken fingers and fries to kind of, feed them in the room. They cost you now. There's a $10 delivery fee now for the guy to bring you the cart. This used to all be part of the cruise experience. It gave parents a chance to entertain the kids all day long on the ship or on shore, whatever, taking these onshore excursions bought through the cruise line. And then when the kids came back on the ship, they'd be pretty tired, and mom and dad would just order in some food and get the kids in bed and get them into PJs and have a bath and then, give them some food and let them watch some TV. Well, now to watch television, you got to pay for the movie or you got to pay for the entertainment. You got to pay for the internet if you're going to put on Netflix or anything like that. And you're talking, $10-15 a day per device. Now you're going to pay extra money for the food to be delivered to the cabin, plus a delivery fee, plus gratuities on top of that. And now they've added another charge. They have upped the daily service fees for regular cabins on Norwegian from $16 a day to $20 a day, a 25% increase in per day, per person room charges. And so a family of 4 is now paying $80 a day. For the Haven class, the higher cabins, it goes from $20 to $25 a day. So if it's a family of 4 in a Haven room, it's $100 a day of added fees on top of your cruise fare. So you go out there looking for a deal on a cruise, you better think twice about what you're really going to end up paying, because they're not telling you up front what you're actually going to be charged for these cruises. A 1 week Caribbean cruise, family of 4 in a Haven Club, you're talking $700 added room charges per day, plus the 20% mandatory tipping, plus the cost of additional food. And of course, you've heard the word from several cruise lines now, it's beginning to spread like a disease, that even in the main dining room, where it used to be no charge in the main dining room at all, now there are charges showing up in the main dining room, plus gratuities. And the cruise line is trying to slough it all off as a way to give the crew more pay, more money, and a way to reduce food waste, which is all bunk. It's all horse manure. We all know that. It's all bunk. But at the end of the day, don't worry about Frank Del Rio Sr. He's going to generate his 20 to 30 million a year. And now his son has lined up to follow in dad's footsteps. And he's now the president of Oceania with all kinds of additional benefits for $500,000 a year, plus, 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 plus. And don't be surprised if in a few years from now, guess who's going to be chairman of Norwegian Cruise Lines? The boy. The boy's going to take over in dad's footsteps. And now the son will take in the 20, 30 million a year in wonderful bonus. Don't expect a cruise deal coming your way anytime soon. Anyway, I mention that because, there's the one side of 9% of employees being let go, which is tragic. These folks are getting their papers handed to them right at Christmas time. And here is the son of the chairman getting a juicy job at the top end of the chain here. It helps knowing the right people in the right spots and having the right last name. Doesn't hurt, does it? Other news today that I wanted to bring to your attention, and this is something you might be noticing in the next few months through this year. This is a sign, what I'm about to tell you. This is a sign of how a company, no matter what the company is experiencing financial problems. And this is one way to put a temporary fix on cash flow issues. And what's happening here, this is a story regarding Royal Caribbean. Apparently, Royal Caribbean has managed to make a deal with a third party to sell them their assets, their parking lot, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think they may have sold off their cruise terminals in Miami. Now, this could be the beginning of a series of transactions that Royal Caribbean is involved with. What they're doing here is they're selling off their assets, their land assets, actual physical property and buildings, to an investment group. And then they're turning around and signing a 20-year lease to rent the building and the property and the parking lot from said group. That seems to be what's going on here. And this is called a sale leaseback arrangement. This is not new. This has been around for a long time. It's called a sale leaseback deal. The companies that usually do this kind of an arrangement are companies that want to reorganize their corporate structure, whether they need cash, like they need cash, but they can't borrow it at a decent price. The price they're being offered to borrow money is so outrageously high because the company is losing money. What they do is they sell their office building or they sell their factory and the ground it sits on, and they turn around and sign a 20-year lease to just rent the property back. GameStop did it as a corporation. Nokia did it in Norway. Many companies have done this. And in the case of Royal Caribbean, the story goes about $200 million in cash is coming into Royal Caribbean's treasury from this one arrangement. Now, I don't think this is all of their properties. I think this is just some of their properties. And this is why I'm not 100% sure about the terminal building in Miami. I am 99.9% sure it involves the parkade and the parking lot land that they have. They've been able to do that deal. I don't know about the rest of it. I don't know if they've done anything in Fort Lauderdale, if they're doing anything in Port Canaveral, if they even own anything to do this with. I don't know what the Galveston story is. I don't know what any other ports of call that they operate in and they might own or not own. From Carnival's point of view and from Norwegian's point of view, I would not be surprised if we begin to hear that they too are going to start announcing sale leaseback deals on their onshore assets, if they have any. It's a way to raise money without, for example, they might be able to get a mortgage on their land, but the mortgage rate would be so bad they wouldn't take it. So they're better off selling it and just renting it because they're the only party that could rent it. They need that asset to rent. So the deal is pre-worked out at the beginning. The investor buys the land, hands them a check, and then they sign a lease deal and they now collect monthly rent. And so the buyer of the property has a return on their money from a lease operating point of view rather than an IOU. Now, if the company goes bankrupt and goes under, the lease company keeps the property because the property is pledged to them. They own the property. The bankers can't steal that property away from the owner of the property, which is this financier. This is one way to lend Royal Caribbean money without worrying that you might not get money back if they go under, because in this case, you own the title to the asset that they're renting from you. And this is what I call the last stage before you go under kind of a move. This is not good, okay? It's a necessary evil that Royal Caribbean is going through. They've been raising money through bond issuances. They raised a bunch of money selling stock. They keep talking about how much cash they have on hand and that they're going up to 100+% occupancy on their ships and all the right things. They've raised all their daily tipping fees, all their gratuity charges, all their other fees are being bumped up, and up. It's getting more and more expensive to take a cruise on some of these cruise lines. The problem is, if we have one more massive breakout of COVID or something like a COVID that affects millions of people simultaneously, and we do get the idea and a possibility that we're going to have another partial shutdown or restriction, a travel restriction of sorts, or mandatory masking on cruise ships, mandatory testing, mandatory vaccinations. If that comes back to fruition, it could be the death knell for some of these outfits that could really affect them badly. And right now, these companies are trying to raise cash any way they can to stave off elimination. They've already renegotiated all their ship loans for the last 3 years. They renegotiated every deal they can renegotiate on every ship they have. They've sold off to the scrapyard ships that they couldn't refinance. They might have been able to raise, $10 million by taking a loan on this ship, but they got paid $20 million to just scrap the damn thing for the steel content, the copper wiring, and so on. You're better off just scrapping some of these assets. These new ships that are coming out of these shipbuilding facilities, with all the pomp and ceremony that the cruise lines are showing off and the fireworks and all the celebrations going on, the reality is that these ships are being financed by the very countries where the ships are built in. So if it's a Royal Caribbean ship coming out of one of the French shipbuilding yards, it's the French government that is backing the cost of the building of the ship. If it's coming out of Papenburg in Germany, it's the German government. If it's coming out of Finland's shipyards, it's Finland. If it's coming out of Italy, the Italian government is backing it up. Countries in Europe are backing up the cost of building out these massive single ships that are billions of dollars each, 800 million to 1.4 billion a pop. The countries are paying this money as the ship is being constructed as a bridge financing arrangement. The cruise line doesn't make a payment on the ship until after sea trials and after the cruise line takes delivery of the keys of the ship. There are no keys, but nonetheless. So once the cruise line gets the ship, now the loan transfers from the government of the country that the ship was built in towards the cruise line. The cruise line now is on the hook for the financing of the vessel. The good news for the cruise lines is that they've managed to work a deal where for a year and a half, they've already been selling cruises on these ships that are being built out. So before the ship is even finished, Royal Caribbean is sitting on all kinds of deposits, and so is Carnival, and so is Norwegian. All these brand new cruise ships they've pre-sold the first 2 years of sailings at what they try to get is top dollar per passenger because it's a brand new ship. And so the cruise lines do the math with their accountants and they go, okay, well, we got to come up with so much money every 30 days to pay for this loan. Can we bring in up front enough deposits to cover the cost of these cruises, the fuel and the employees and the food and the booze? And then can we generate enough added money from the casinos and from onshore excursions and from onboard massages and manicures and pedicures and hair treatments? Can we bring in enough money from everything else on board these ships? And can we nail these people $15 a day to use their telephone and their iPads and their laptops? Can we get $150 a week added money from someone for internet? Can we get another $100 a week, $150 a week from the same person for spa access? Can we get $200, $500 a cruise from these people to go to specialty restaurants? Can we get them to buy $12 Ryan Cokes, $15 scotches plus 20% gratuity? Can we get these folks to pay way more than the $5.99 deal that they found for their cruise? And that is the secret to a cruise ship's ultimate success, is to get out from these passengers on board these ships as many dollars as humanly possible while you have them trapped on board the ship, to give them as little as possible included in the fare and get them to pay as much as possible over and above the fare. And oh, by the way, casino, can we get them in the casino and have them lose thousands of dollars in the darn casino? Wouldn't that be lovely? This is how cruise ships make it. This is why it is so important for these cruise lines to do this. So with Royal Caribbean, now actually reverting to the old leaseback game, sale, leaseback, survival game. This is bad news because cruise lines do not own skyscrapers all over the United States. They don't own huge campuses of land for offices and everything else all over the place. Cruise lines have been systematically, every year for the last 10 years, they've been reducing their footprint of what they have domestically, and they've been turning them into basically renters. They are leasing or renting stuff, not owning it. They don't have the cash. They need the cash flow to stay alive right now because of the COVID thing that we've had. To be a cruise line is incredibly expensive. There's no mercy in the cruise business. You want to operate 20 cruise ships that can handle 5,000 passengers at a time. You're talking 100,000 passengers a week on your ship. You got Carnival with all the brands that they've got. Princess, Holland America, Cunard, Carnival ships, Costa brand ships, on it goes. You're talking 90 cruise ships. And we're talking about 3,000 to 4,000 people a cruise ship now. We're talking about 350,000 people a week that have to be fed, plus crew And you're talking now a third at least of crew, 125,000 to 150,000 crew people. That's 500,000 people you are feeding every day on board a ship. 500,000 mouths to feed every day, and water, and electricity, and air conditioning. And you're moving them, and you're taking care of all the other stuff to get them on the ship and get them off the ship safely. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then on board the ship, you might notice in the main showroom, there's a show every night. Those have to be coordinated. Those have to be put together. Costuming, dance numbers, dancers, singers, entertainers, musicians. These have to be trained. These folks have to be rehearsed. This has to be planned out a year, 2 years in advance. You've got cruise people that you will never meet, people of the cruise line you will never see that work on shore, that put together the talent, find the talent, train the talent, costume the talent all the time. You've got the headhunters, you've got the human resources people, the accountants. The cost of operating a cruise line is killer, and the net profits out of cruise lines are slivers of percentage points. They are not huge. Cruise lines do not make 40% profit when they operate at full capacity. They do not. You might be hoodwinked into believing that, oh, wow, a cruise ship with 5,500 passengers and 2,200 crew, oh my God, that cruise ship makes a fortune. No, it doesn't. It generates a lot of cash flow. Yes, it also spends a lot of cash flow to be an operating ship. But the cost on shore of that ship's existence is also unfathomable to most people. It is absolutely unbelievable how much money is spent to run cruise ships on top of the actual ships themselves. It really is an amazing business. Kudos to those out there who run cruise lines and run them well. The folks at Carnival have been doing it since 1960, 61. Prior to that, there were ocean liner companies that used to do cruises to nowhere, as we used to call them. Cruises to nowhere. Miami back to Miami. Cruises to nowhere. Now it's the thing. Very few cruise lines operate as ocean liners anymore. It's all cruises to nowhere. These operators used to do this all by hand. There were days where the calculations of all cruise lines' expenses were done by adding machine, where people had to punch it in manually. You used to have communication between ship and shore by telegraph. Now you have satellite communication for weather systems and everything else. The ability to have a cruise ship change its itinerary while at sea because a hurricane is developed off the coast of somewhere in the Bahamas. This is phenomenal engineering, a phenomenal achievement in mankind's ability to protect mankind from disasters. Absolutely phenomenal what's happened here. The ability of passengers to be able to go on a cruise ship, sailing through the Caribbean and being able to pull up Netflix while at sea for the kids on the flat screen TV, on the wall, in the bedroom. Are you kidding me? This didn't happen in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Those of you who've only been cruising for 10, 15 years, you know that the first time you saw a computer on a cruise ship was in a computer cafe. You remember the computer rooms that the cruise lines used to brag about? Come on into the computer room. We have all these desktop computers. You can rent a desktop by the hour, by the minute. All those days are gone. It's now on your own device, flat rate per day, 3 speeds, slow, medium, hyper, and prices accordingly. Things have really changed. A lot of it for the great, for the better, for the good, absolutely. But unfortunately, to be able to operate a cruise line in today's world, you're going to have to generate some serious dollars. And if you want to try to attract a husband and a wife and 2 children on a cruise, unfortunately, what's happening is People are getting emails on their servers that say, "Oh, cruise, cruise, cruise. You're interested in a cruise. You were looking up a cruise last week. How about a 1 week cruise on XYZ cruise line, showing children frolicking in the ocean and having a wonderful time with these floaties for $5.99." But by the time you do your homework and you really dig into these cruises, you'll find out that, oh my God, there's nothing is near $5.99. I mean, no, not even close. There's four of us. We got to get there. We got to get back. We need a hotel the night before. We might not get a flight out the day we get back. We might have to stay a night. We might park the car down there. That's going to cost us $150 for the week just to park the dang car. There are people out there who are looking at cruises going, I can't afford this. I just can't afford the price of this vacation. It used to be at one time that a cruise was one heck of a deal, but those days are quickly disappearing because cruise lines are in debt up to here, and they are now trying to get back the money they needed to wait for us to come back. All of the last of 2020, all of 2021, almost all of it, they were sitting in the water, oozing money out the door. Every ship needed to be paid. Payments had to be made. Insurance had to be paid. Maintenance had to be done. These ships are sitting in salt water and getting eaten alive. And now the cruise lines are trying to get that money back plus interest to pay back their bankers. And this is a 10-year project, minimum 10-year project to make this happen. That's why cruising going forward may not be the deal you remember cruising having been once at a time. Because there are people that I talk to who say to me, I can't believe when I went cruising back in the 90s and the 2000s, I found deals to Hawaii from Los Angeles, 15-day cruise, balcony for the two of us, less than $1,000 all in. You can't find that deal anymore. There are not even sales show off like that, let alone the added charges. But passengers now are smart enough to know that no matter what the price the cruise line quotes you, that is only the starting position. You've got to add in everything else. And by the time you add it all in, you'll realize, oh my God, that $5.99 deal for this 1 week cruise doesn't exist anywhere. That is a non-starter. We're talking maybe $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for two of us, or for three of us, or for four of us. And even then, we are scrimping and saving everywhere we can. Unfortunately, it's the way it is. The world has gone crazy. The inflation rate has gone sky high. Interest rates are rising. It's getting worse for the cruise lines. It's getting worse for hotel operators. It's getting worse for all-inclusive resorts. It's certainly a nightmare at Disneyland, Disney World, Universal Studios. Any of these massive theme parks are running into a huge problem with inflation costs, energy costs, insurance, maintenance, lower attendance numbers. We're talking some serious issues out there, and we're just going to have to fight through them to see how it all works out. Who's going to survive and who isn't, I don't know. What do you recommend for just a resort vacation? Why do you like Palm Springs? I can tell you honestly, we are not sitting here on the cheap, Jennifer and I. We are not sitting here with a bargain vacation. I want to clarify that right up front. If any of you out there go on Expedia.com and you look to find a hotel for a 2-week stay around here, sometime in January or February or March at the height of the year, you are not going to be happy with the pricing that you're going to have to pay for what you're going to get. If you want to stay at the Westin here and a Marriott, and you want to stay at the Ritz-Carlton, they have a Ritz-Carlton here. You want to stay in those properties, you know what you're going to have to pay. You're aware of those rates. You won't be surprised. But if you are a typical middle-class traveler and you come to this area here to spend a 2-week vacation in Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, Indian Wells, La Quinta, you're going to be shocked at what you have to pay for what you're going to get. It's extremely expensive. There is no sugarcoating this one. Now, I recall back in 2011-12, Jennifer and I had to come down here because we still had stuff in storage that we'd had for years and years, and we were trying to get it out of here and get it back to Canada. And we came down for a 3-nighter. We were in Vegas for a few nights. We went to Phoenix to spend a week with our friends in their house in Phoenix. No charge. Come on in, spend with us. We just want you down here. And we would kick in money for food and booze, and they didn't want it. It was great. Then we'd come here, and we'd spend 3 nights at a Motel 6 in the valley that we used to live in. We're in a Motel 6. We're spending $150 to $180 a night in a Motel 6. And let me tell you, the guests, our neighbors, were of the Motel 6 variety. If you kind of read between the lines, you know what I'm talking about. They didn't disappoint. They were truly there also spending this kind of money, but they weren't here for long. They'd be here one night, they'd be out of here because it is extremely expensive to be down here at the height of the year. So where do you go for a good deal? That's a darn good question. I think more and more people are now having to look at Airbnb. They're having to look at other, type sites to find a place. The problem is more and more communities are putting up a real barrier for people to rent out their units if it's less than 30 days. If you want to rent a unit for a week, a weekend, you're going to have to charge hotel taxes. You get caught renting your private home to somebody by the neighbor, rats you out, you're going to get fines that will make it very unattractive to do that kind of thing. And this is where hotels are saying, look, hey, we're getting nailed by the state, by the county, by the city, for all the taxes and fees we have to pass on to our clients. Why shouldn't this guy down the street with this condo also pay towards the cost of this state and the cost of this city? And so, everybody has their arguments. So you're going to have to do some shopping around. A lot of folks have decided that the best way to get a deal is to RV it. The problem with RVing is down here where we are, you can't get a quality spot down here without a reservation. You're now looking at $100 to $200 a night for a plot of land to put your thing on, your RV on. Plus you got to plug it in. Got to pay for that. Plug in the water, pay for that. Electricity is extra in many places around here for RVs. This condo we're renting, we get an allowable electricity allowance. After that, we pay it. Thankfully, we don't have air conditioning on 24 hours a day here. It's not hot enough, so we don't have that issue. But there are people around this valley who are renting private homes for like a 2-month stay, a 1-month stay. If you want your hot tub heated, it's $50 a day to heat the hot tub. $1,500 a week extra. You want the pool and the hot tub heated? $75 a day, $100 a day. More, $3,000 a month more in rent. That's how expensive it's become for single property owners down in Southern California. It is not cheap. We've got a bargain here compared to what we could have paid, but we're inside a golf resort, which is a huge facility. 1,200 condos pay the costs of the entire landscaping and the entire homeowner's situation. You have 1,200 payers paying these large fees rather than one house at a time getting serviced and looked after. So that was okay, but still, it is not cheap. So I don't know where to send you. I will say that the cheapest vacations used to be, you'd go to Laughlin, Nevada. You'd go to Bullhead City. You'd go over there and get deals over there. But nowadays, you've really got to do some shopping around to see where the best deals really are, because California has become extremely expensive. Tucson used to be cheap. Certain subdivisions of Phoenix used to be affordable, but you've got to really shop around. Anyway, hello everybody from Tom Henry. Hi there, Tom. Traveling with Bruce. I need to send you some pictures of the shower in this resort. We're in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and the walk-in shower is unbelievable. The Biscuit Boys would fit plus 15 more. Oh man, I gotta see that. You gotta send me. You gotta send me the thing. That would be fantastic. I'd love to see this. Uh, appreciate appreciate if you could do that for me. That would be fabulous, man. Anyway, I'm just having trouble with my email right now, but hopefully that we can see that sometime. Welcome, Tom. Sharon, I think the spa services are provided by a third party. Time to spa. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think cruising companies profits from individual spa services. Yeah, what happens is that the cruise lines, they lease out the spa area, and the spa area is handled by a company that pays the cruise lines a fee. And if you want to use the spa areas, you have to pay them for it. But yeah, it's still to you extra charge, but the cruise lines get an overall rental cost for that. Tom Henry, very true, Sharon. Tom Henry, I find this discussion a bit funny. A YouTuber talking about added fees who charges his group for chatting. What can I say? Robert, hi, Bruce from Boston. Number 9. It may be cheaper now to fly directly to a Caribbean island. You could be right. It might be cheaper to fly to Barbados and rent a place there than to take a cruise. Depends on the cruise line, I guess. Ruth Ann, I'm not that concerned about a deal. Is there a lot to do in Palm Springs besides golf? Well, this area here, if you like to relax and you like a nice variety of restaurants to go to, you like to do some nice outdoor walking. There are easy places to walk, challenging places to hiking, and so on. Sightseeing around here, yes. Tennis, of course. Just lying by the pool and doing nothing, of course. Restaurants, tons. Entertainment, lots. Fair amount of entertaining here. A lot of McCallum Theater and different clubs and so on. It's not a young person's place. If you're in your 20s and you want to go clubbing every night, you're not going to have fun here. There's a few places you can go, but you're not going to enjoy it much. Really, this area is for the laid back folks who want to just relax and take it easy. And so it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous area, really beautiful. And it's a great place to catch up with some friends and tell stories and enjoy summertime weather more or less throughout the entire year. December, January are the coolest months. November, February, March, oh my gosh, is it fabulous around here. It just warms up and it's beautiful. Tom Henry, for hotel deals, I say the best thing is to select the major brand you like, join the membership group, and get their branded perks credit card for monthly points, plus take advantage of bonus points. I couldn't agree more, Tom. That's a good point. 44 thumbs up so far, Bruce. 56 to go. You got 100 thumbs ups. Tom Henry, deals. We are IHG and have bought points when they have BOGO specials. Have not actually paid for an IHG stay in a couple of years. Tom Henry, I've been busy for many recent Monday nights. What is Jen's surgery status? She goes in this month. Her surgery is set. It will be done before the month is out. She won't say the date. We've been doing all the pre-surgery stuff, including getting her walker. We got her brand new walker over here that will be put to work as soon as the operation is done. She's already set up her rehab schedule. She got a new machine the other day. It looks like a cooler that has a hose attached to it. You plug it into the wall. You put this ice and ice water into the cooler, snap shut the lid, turn on the button. You connect the hose from this unit to a bladder kind of thing that you wrap around your hip with Velcro. And it puts this cool water through these pipes that go all the way around, and then the compression and the relaxation. It's an amazing machine. We have the bladder for a shoulder and a knee, and Jen is using it up for her knee and her for her hip now. Even before surgery, she's using it. So we're getting ready. We're gearing up. Sharon, Tom Henry is right. We're Hilton Honors members, and the perks are totally worth it. I agree. If you've got a credit card that gives you a bunch of points, and it can give you upgrade points on an airline, can give you added points from your hotel, can give you higher status, you want to look into that for sure. Absolutely. Whether you're an American Express Platinum card holder or whatever card you have, absolutely run them up because they want your business. No question about it. No question about it. But you are coming to Southern California for a holiday. If you're a family of four and you want to go to Disneyland for like a week, California Adventure, Disneyland, Universal Studios. You want to do those three parks over a 5, 6, 7 night period with hotels, perhaps rental cars. You are going to cough up some serious money because these are costing a fortune now to do. And if you're going to go to Southern Florida or Orlando, you've got the selection of phenomenal places to go to. Tons of hotels, but also the price is rising substantially. And some of them will shock you to no end as to how much money you've got to cough up for in the end of the day, a 7 to 10 day getaway that you are spending money on you've never thought you'd spend. It's truly incredible. The days of a cheap holiday are quickly evaporating, I will have to say. We have 59 people here watching right now. Thank you all for popping in here. We have 48 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for these. I appreciate it very much. Keep them coming. Tom Henry, we are both diamond with IHG. I love that we now get free breakfast perk in the Intercontinental hotels. I also paid to join the Intercontinental Ambassador Club. Free upgrade on every booking. Right on. If you travel enough, these things right here are fantastic. They're worth your time. They're worth your money to absolutely join. No question about it. If you can generate extra points by just using a credit card for everyday purchases that you would normally pay with a debit card or cash, and you can rack up points all year long for a 1 or 2 or 3 holiday getaways a year, well done. It is the way of today. It's the way it's done. You get either really good deals at the at airlines, or you get access to airport lounges, or you get great deals with hotels and perhaps rental car rates and everything else with upgrades and all of that. Absolutely. Now, if you can build that into a cruise vacation on top of everything else, even better. Absolutely. Congratulations to all of you who are crafty enough to figure it out, because it now takes a little bit of work to kind of make this happen. The days of a super cheap $49 room in Las Vegas doesn't exist anymore. And I know, you go to Vegas, you have those resort fees that are what, $40-50 a night, depending on if you're a Canadian or an American. You're paying in Canadian money or American money. You go for a 4-night Vegas stay and you're paying $150 for resort fees in the middle of winter. The pools are closed. Not much of a resort experience, right? You want to go to Vegas in July and enjoy the pool? Really? It's 115 degrees out. What do I need to be here for? The pools are open in Minnesota in July. Pete, great show, Bruce. Cheers from Peter and Karen on Majestic Princess. Thank you guys so much for being with me tonight. From wherever on the planet you are from, thank you all for joining me on the big show. I'm going to say my good nights. I will be on next week. Next week, Monday, we'll be on. And the week after that, we're on. Even though it's Christmas, Monday, the Christmas holiday day, I'll be on the air for this channel and the Monday after that. Hope to enjoy your company, and we'll keep you posted on the latest cruise stuff, what's going on. Travel news. Thank you all of you for thumbs ups today. If you've been able to hit that thumbs up button, thank you all. We now have 52. We got halfway to 100 here. Thank you all so very much. Have a great holiday. Jeannie, thank you. You and Bill have a great time in East Tennessee. Catch you all next week. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Stephen Butler, thank you, Bruce. Sharon, have a great night. Merry Christmas to you and Jen, and happy holidays to everybody, whatever you celebrate, wherever you celebrate. Stay healthy, everybody. Give your relatives an extra long hug this year. You never know when it's the last time. Thank you all so much for your loyalty to this channel and saying hi to me and to Jen. We appreciate it. we'll let you know when you see that unit over there not there anymore. You know she's she's using it now. So things are happening very quickly, and we are some pumped up around here. We'll keep you posted. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. Good night from Palm Desert, California, from the big show here. And we'll see you next Monday night at 7 o'clock for sponsor members, 8 o'clock right here for the big show. And I look forward to seeing you then. Good night from Palm Desert.